Cardinal, it's been a tough summer here in Chicago with all the violence that's been reported. The face of Chicago around the world seems to be one where children are being killed and just a lot of violence. What is it that we Catholics can do to make a difference here?
Well, I think we are doing what the Church always does. We ask the Lord to give us the gift of peace, because it is a gift. And then in the long run and the short run, too, we do what the Church does best. We form family life and strengthen families, because the important thing is that people have enough internal discipline, and that comes from learning how to live together in a family, so they don't resort to external violence. So we can also join the external protests and the external demands for gun control. All that is fine. But if people don't have any internal discipline, if their families don't exist, and they have gangs for fake families, well, then we're going to continue to have violence. And the government can't do anything about that, except maybe change a few policies that are anti-family. But basically, we should do what the Church has done well through the ages: support family life, mother, father, children, and help them with a way of life that will make them peaceful people. And then reach out especially to others who have been injured by the violence. Be present to them, comfort them as best we can. Many people are doing that. And we have a lot of different groups in the Church that are doing that in a particular way. We have the black deacons that pray in neighborhoods that are troubled. We have people from the pastoral center who work for peace in a very concerted way, who meet regularly among themselves. We have the peace initiatives based in the schools, in every school. So there's a lot of particular initiatives that are good. We open up our parishes to other people from troubled neighborhoods, so they can find an oasis of peace in a parish somewhere. But in the end, if people are not at peace in themselves, there'll be no peace in the neighborhoods or in the world. Yes. And that's what we have to look at.
Our Catholic schools are looked upon as a safe haven for young people. And as the new school year begins, the Black Catholic Deacons of the Archdiocese, in conjunction with the Office for Black Catholics, hosted a back-to-school sunrise prayer service and Mass. The Mass was celebrated by Bishop Joseph Perry. It was held at Oakwood Beach along the lakefront at 41st Street. Now, Cardinal, families send their children to Catholic schools because it's a place where the values are reinforced and taught. It certainly is a place where they expect it to be a safe haven. How do you see that role of our schools assisting families?
Yeah, school isn't just to educate kids one by one. It's to create a community where the virtues of the gospel are clear: love and hope and peace. And then it does that publicly. So, gangs generally respect our schools. They're not filled with graffiti. There are no metal detectors. They're open from 6 in the morning, many of them to 6 at night, so that parents can leave their children in a safe place and while they're at work. So they do function, like you said, as oases of peace and therefore of hope for children who otherwise would be simply submerged in the violence of their neighborhood. And that's part of our mission. The primary mission is to tell everybody who Christ is, but Christ is a peacemaker.
For sure. Something that touched me days ago when the Jackie Robinson West baseball team,
that was nice,
they were being celebrated and all that. But when you think about these 13, 12-year-olds, they're all from communities that are, those are the communities that are being reported on for all the senseless violence, and they were such a ray of hope.
Sure, well, they found a safe place in that team, that's where they are themselves.
For sure, and the character that they displayed, that's what we teach in our families.
Yeah, that's right, and the school continues that.
For sure. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about schools with Sister Mary Paul McCaughey, the superintendent of schools, a little bit later. When you think about the violence that's going on around the world, the most recent killings of American journalists and so forth, what's happening in that regard as far as what our challenge is as people of peace?
Well, before they killed 2 journalists, they killed thousands of Christians and other people. They drove every single Christian out of Mosul. I know the Archbishop there, and they worshipped there for 2,000 years, long before Islam existed. And finally we're realizing what's going on there, that this is a persecution of the church and of others whom they regarded as enemies of their cause. But, that belief in something as fiercely as they do can't be met by just wringing our hands. I think everybody knows that. The problem is how do you meet it effectively? Well, you pray for the protection of the church. We do that in all our Sundays now, where it's openly persecuted, and elsewhere where it's more subtle, as it is sometimes in this country. And then you offer a lot of help. Catholic Relief Services are there. We don't have any army on the ground or anything, but they have access to channels that can give humanitarian aid. The Annual Catholic Appeal contributes to that. So there is a lot of help being offered. But most of all, what's missing there is hope. A lot of those people left their homes and they went to refugee camps thinking they were safe in Jordan or Iraq, or Syria rather, and they're not. Now the refugee camps are being attacked. And so either we open our borders to them, but that'd be something that'd be secondary to pacifying their homeland so they could go home. However, whether they want to go home now, I don't know. But what we've got is a worldwide, practically, but centered in the Middle East, persecution of people for their faith in Christ. And maybe we'll be of some help, I don't know. I mean, the church is doing all she can. The Pope has sent his own representative there. The Pope has asked people around the world to pray. He's gone to the United Nations. But we'll see what we're going to do ourselves to try to bring peace to a region that's been, full of war since we attacked Iraq.